Hey there, guys. It's Sean from the Random Tangents, and Brandon's with me.
Hello, hello.
We're gonna do some discussions today. So this video, before we start, I'm just gonna describe it. It is to talk about the current Mueller investigation and what is happening with it, what is going on at the moment. I'm sure by next week it'll be totally different. Because it's still ongoing. I know last Tuesday is when the Cohen the Cohen story broke. So we're just gonna talk about it briefly, just to let you guys know. I'm just I don't know if everyone's gonna watch this video. Just gonna know the background of it. But I'm just gonna name some names here. So obviously, Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, Michael D. Cohen, George Papadopoulos, Michael Flynn, the 13 Russian nationals, the 3 Russian companies, the 8 Russian intelligence officers. All of them have been indicted or charged or confessed guilty to the Mueller investigation. So we're just gonna I just wanted to talk about it and just kind of talk about the pros and cons of it.
And for those of you in the audience that don't really know anything about this, I'm also with you there. So I'm also in the dark. So Sean's gonna give us some information. We're gonna talk about it. Just give some non-biased commentary. Hopefully, learn a thing or two.
Yeah. So I guess it starts. So I have a list here. I did a little bit of research and just kind of looking into things. I did 2 different websites. I'm trying to make this factual. I know right now is a very bad time for news media, and the big reason things are why the way they are is because of the unhonest practices of news agencies. But let's just get started with Paul Manafort. He was the guy that last week, I believe, or a couple weeks ago, he was charged with 8 charges of bank and tax fraud. Did you want to go Dusty Divot, Brandon?
Yeah, we'll go Dusty Divot.
Cool. So he was charged. So basically, they tried to charge him with 18 different things.
And who's this guy?
During the campaign in 2016, he was the chairman of the Trump campaign. So during the campaign, he actually had to step down in May 2016 because already before the election even happened, everyone was saying that he was having Russian was doing something, and there was a lot of connections, and everyone was kind of criticizing him, saying he had too many connections to Russia. So he had to step down.
So he was kind of
he's
kind of a shady guy anyway.
He was a super shady guy, and but he was also the head of the Trump election campaigns, kind of what happened. It was kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts that he was the head of your campaign. But anyway, let's just make sure we survive this encounter first. So he got charged with 8 different things. Okay, Brandon, I see you're right. He's coming to that building with you, bro.
Ah, I'm surrounded.
Oh God.
Okay, they killed each other, but okay. There's still one guy downed in here. I'm dying, Sean. Oh wait, here comes another guy.
I know. Do you know where he's coming from?
Yeah, he's about to come in the front door. You ready? He's right up front.
Yep.
It's a no skin.
Oh wow! Instantly killed me. Drum gun. All right.
No skin.
Oh, whatever. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. We're having commentary here. Round 2. So anyway, Paul Manafort, charged 8 different charges. 10 of the charges that he was charged with, including conspiracy against the United States, they said they couldn't charge him with because the jury was so influenced by the media and pretty much public opinion that they could not charge him with things justifiably because no evidence they could provide they thought could dissuade them already. So 10 of the counts were ruled as a mistrial, and they were going to do it later again and try to charge him with everything else. But for the moment, they charged him with 8 charges of bank fraud and tax fraud, including withholding information from your bank. So I think I looked at an estimate That guy is facing, if he's charged with everything and like actually goes to jail, he'll look at 76 years of jail time. Obvious.
Okay, so he kind of lucked out the first time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically a lot of the things were nailed as a mistrial, and everything's kind of like gone to crap. No one really knows what's going on. He's gonna get away. There's gonna be another court date coming up for him. I think it starts in September actually, but he is probably not gonna serve that 76 years. But he's unlike Cohen and a few other guys like George Papadopoulos. We'll talk about him later. He is not telling anyone anything. He's not breaking. He's not like saying like Trump told me to do this, or he's not selling out. So Trump's like going around praising this guy, even though he did obviously terrible things that he's going to be charged with. He said Manafort showed strength in the sign of this witch hunt. And let's talk about the opposite side of the spectrum. Michael D. Cohen. So this he was Trump's lawyer during the time of the campaign. Oh God, this is gonna be intense too. God, please let me get a start here. Oh God!
Coming, Sean. Hang in there, buddy. Yeah, there we go.
Jesus.
I guess he didn't have a team.
There's another guy. I saw him landing in this
green AR.
Yep, there he is.
Oh shit. Oh, I got one. Oh dang.
All right. This is definitely this.
It's getting a little rough.
Yeah.
Also, if you're new to our channel, just a little background information. We're not super good at Fortnite yet.
No, not at all.
We're definitely not no skins anymore. But
the good news, guys, is Brandon has 2 solo wins. I have 1 solo win, and I have a group win when I was carried by a group of 12-year-olds. But anyway, so
and Jeremy's got a couple wins too. So
yeah, he does. He does actually have wins. Jeremy's got 2 wins, which is good. That's good. It's good. But okay, Michael D. Cohen. So he was Trump's lawyer during the campaign period. So he just confessed last Tuesday that during the campaign that Trump pretty much asked him to make 2 illegal payments to 2 separate women that were claiming having affairs with him, so they would not talk during the campaign. He also
had an affair with
Trump when he was married, like 2 different women, just like saying that they slept with Trump or Trump was sleeping with them, and he told his lawyer to pay them money. It seems like it's illegal because I think, this could be wrong here, but I kind of like, all I could find was, did you interrupt there?
It's fine. We'll go Dusty did it again.
But like, okay, so like basically, these women slept with him, and I think it was illegal because they pretty much were using campaign donations as some of the payment to these women. That's why it's illegal. That's why it's wrong.
To keep quiet?
To keep quiet during the campaign. Basically, like, Trump didn't want to do it himself, so he got his lawyer to scoop up some money. Trump didn't want to leave a paper trail, I guess. So he wanted to get some random lawyer to use the campaign finances to pay this woman, or these women, to not talk about their affairs with Trump during the campaign. He also admitted, like, saying he broke campaign finance laws. Yeah, so, like, and this is all stuff that he admitted, super legal stuff. This guy's gonna face, probably jail time. The only reason he's, like, admitting this is he's get leniency, but either way, he's probably gonna get jail time. So, like, so Trump
he's admitted that all of this is true. This isn't just, like, hearsay?
No. Cohen said that all this happened. But
okay, so the lawyer said it happened.
The lawyer said it happened. But also the lawyer is guilty in this. He's not like, he can't just say it happened and wash his hands. Like, they were investigating him. They knew that he knew they were investigating him. So, like, I guess he thought he'd get a better chance with it if he just told them anything. But basically, unlike
nice friend.
Well, unlike Paul Manafort, he just pretty much just came out of the blue and said, like, Trump made me do everything. So Trump's coming out, obviously pissed. claiming he's a liar, saying none of it's true, that he's making it all up. It's a witch hunt. The Democrats are making him do it. Um, just like I don't know. It's just like very, very strange stuff. Yeah, it's very confusing. Like I feel like it's really confusing. Because Manafort, he's pretty much the same time he praised Manafort for keeping his mouth shut, basically, and is pretty much saying Cohen for weak for talking. More or less. That's like reading between the lines, but pretty much that's what's going on. And this is pretty heavy stuff. Like, I mean, like, obviously, Manafort, he, like, did a lot of shady stuff during the Trump campaign, and like obviously they were like misusing money. One of the things that Trump ran off of, if anybody remembers, was that he was going to pay for basically most of his campaign. That's a super hard thing to do, and he was only able to do it because he's been a really successful businessman. But if this is true, I mean, obviously he took donations and stuff, and a lot of the companies advertised him, advertised for him. He just figured out how to ways to save money by like doing these kind of illicit activities if it's true. And that's the thing, we don't know if it's true. Obviously Donald Trump and a lot of others are saying this is a giant witch hunt. The Democrats are just desperate to win the elections back in November, to get in the campaign, and as soon as it all happens, like they're just gonna try to impeach Trump and move on. Like it's not even like he's claiming they have no evidence. Talking too fast. It's just a giant. There's a lot of information. It's a ton of information, and this isn't even like the only two people that were charged. Gosh. Okay. Let me think. I guess next I could talk about Rick Gates. This guy, Rick Gates. Okay, Brandon. He was Manafort's business partner.
All right.
So, from my understanding, they indicted him. Do you know the difference between indicted and, like, charged?
Refresh me.
So, indicting is basically saying, I'm going to charge you with this. And, they're just, like, talking about, like, you're being, like, charged. It's basically before you're being charged. This guy was indicted for 12 different things. Most of them was because of his association with Manafort. And one of these, like Manafort, was conspiracy against the United States. Pretty big deal. If you get charged with conspiracy, that's a lot of jail time. Like, he's not been taken to court yet like Manafort has. So just like Manafort, Cohen, they're facing a long time in jail. Like Cohen, I think, is thinking he can get off by selling out Trump. He might be right. He might be right, and that's why he's selling out Trump so badly, is because he's trying to get off. Like most people would, I guess. I don't know. Super confusing world. I don't know. He's not a good friend.
So
Okay.
when did this all like blow up? Did this guy just come out and say all this stuff? Because
this was last Tuesday. This is like, okay. This is last Tuesday. A lot of this stuff.
What caused this to like explode?
Like, you mean like
was there like already an investigation and the guy like felt pressured, so like he started
basically
talking,
ever since Donald Trump has been elected, there was an investigation launched. Do you know who Jeff Sessions is?
I do not.
He's the general attorney of... Gosh, let me actually not make sure. I don't want to mess up this guy's title. I feel like I would be really dumb. Basically, he's in charge of the justice system in the United States for the moment. After all this happened, let's see, let me make sure. He is the Attorney General, not the General Attorney. Attorney General. That's the other way around. But basically, he's in charge of our police system, in a way, kind of our legal system. Very important position. After all this happened, they announced they wanted to do investigation into Trump and Russia, and basically Russian interference with the election. Jeff Sessions had ties with Russia, like many people that were associated with Trump. So he did the right thing to many people's degree. He said, like, I can't be any part of this investigation. I can't lead up this investigation myself or assign the department to do it. So there's an independent investigation that was started.
Okay, that seems fair.
Which is this guy named Mueller. It is really fair. Honestly, on paper, this is a great idea. It was a fair system, and Jeff Sessions probably did the right thing, because there's so much going on, and, like, basically it helps prevent...
Ooh, got that guy.
I hit this guy a lot. Hit him twice. But basically, let me make sure I get this kill.
Love the scoped assault rifle. Careful, there's 2 different teams down there still. I got one of them, but...
Got him.
Okay, there's still a guy in this fort, this brick fort down here I'm shooting
Gotcha.
at.
Gather this guy's materials. Sorry, guys. This is intense.
Oh, he's got a sniper. Watch out.
Gotcha. Whoops.
Man, I love the assault scoped rifle. He's got really low health. He's probably below 50 without shield, as far as I know.
Ooh.
He's close.
He's close.
Is he still in there?
Yeah. Oh.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
look
God.
out, look out. He's going around,
Got him.
Nice.
Jesus.
Oh,
I
that was close.
injured myself super hard, though. Anyway, so Jeff Sessions recused himself from the investigation. Did you want that sniper, Brandon?
Sure, I'll take it. You got shields?
I got some, yeah, I got some stuff. So let me heal up. We regained my train of thought. I was intense. It was the first successful kind of hit on this video. So Jeff Sessions, like I said, recused himself from the investigation. Mueller started the investigation. Mueller is he's a former head of the FBI. Previously, I don't know exactly when, but this guy headed up the FBI, right? Mm-hmm. And they assigned him because he's a trustworthy member of the community to investigate what really happened in Russia in the elections.
Okay.
Oh God!
Oh.
Instantly sniped. Shit.
Uh-oh.
I should have
Well,
built up before I drank that slurp juice. Oh God. Well, he's coming this way.
okay, so the thing about us in Fortnite,
yeah, we're not super good.
We're not very good at building yet.
Yeah, I feel like we're really
building.
close. Okay, I need to get back on track. Super intense here. So Jeff Sessions, basically, Mueller is now heading up this investigation. This has been going on since Trump has basically been president, and Mueller's been investigating for over a year now. A lot of people are saying the investigation has gone on too long, and some people think the investigation should be shut down and saying it's being turned into a witch hunt as a way for Democrats to make Trump look bad and, like, gain political power.
So this has been going on for over a year.
Yes, it's been going on.
But it's just now, like, blowing up.
It's just now blowing up. They've been naming people off. The first person they named was Michael Flynn. He's a former member of the Trump administration. He pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his conversations with a Russian ambassador. So, like, basically, he said, try reading between the lines, just basically they talked about stuff they should not be talking about. And Trump is claiming that once this all came out and Michael Flynn confessed this, Trump fired him. Because he's saying he did not trust him anymore. Because he didn't know this was going on, I guess.
Okay.
The exact reason is that he told Michael Pence a lie, I guess.
So is this whole thing, like, just about those affairs, or, like, does it go deeper than that?
That's the thing. It's about Russian interference. But basically what they found in the investigation is not about the Russian interference. Not for the most part. Like, every one of these guys have heavy Russian connections. Every one. Except George Papadopoulos. Well, that's a lie too. He's actually very close to Russia. all these guys, Michael D.
It's all confirmed
Cohen.
information.
This is all confirmed information. Paul Manafort he stepped down because of his connections to Russia. Rick Gates was very close to Paul Manafort and close to the Russian. Michael D. Cohen, he might be the only one that's not super close to Russia. But basically, Michael Flynn was having a conversation with Russian ambassador about things he should not be talking about, and Trump saying he had no idea this was going on, and that he lied about it to Michael Pence, and Trump fired him. So, like, this is but the thing is, that's the thing, like, it's very focused, especially with Cohen making this announcement last week. It is focused on the affairs. That's like I mean, like, we had a president impeached for having an affair during his presidency in the Oval Office with Monica Lewinsky, with Bill Clinton, whatever. That's fine. No, I mean, that's history. But, like, obviously the times have changed. People don't care as much. No one wants to impeach Trump over his affairs, I guess. Even though it's awful. But the thing is, he did pay these women, I guess, illegally. So, like, that's something he could potentially be convicted of. Like, that's an actual crime. If the right Congress was in office right now, they could potentially charge Trump and impeach him. And that's a pretty big deal. Like, they basically know this. I mean, obviously, it's all the word Michael Cohen. So, like, take that as far as you will. But if they wanted to, and the right Congress is in office, they could impeach Trump right now. And that's a pretty big deal. I don't think it's gonna happen. Probably not. But it could happen. And that's a thing. That's why it's a big deal. That's like all this is happening. Like basically no one cares, though, that Donald Trump slept with these women. I mean, like, this is totally off track. We're close to time anyway, but, like, I guess I'll say it, like, before. I could do a whole nother video on just, like, Trump's all of his affairs and, like, all that kind of stuff, but, like, pretty recently there was a lawyer. So, like, you ever heard of I guess, God, I gotta speak clearly here. Stormy Daniels was a woman a porn star that said slept with Trump. And that was one of the women that, like, claimed that slept with him. And that would, like, during the time he was married to, what is her name? Trump's wife, Melania. So this is, like, there's just so many different angles of this. Basically, they don't know anything. For sure. The investigation's not over, though. This is only stuff we know, that is public record of people confessing things in court. This guy, Mueller, has been investigating for, like, over a year now. And there's just so much, potentially, that he knows that the public doesn't know. And that's, like, a very real thing. Like, because you already have this public record. Nobody wants to impeach Trump of the stuff that's in public record. But, like, potentially, that might change in the future. That's a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. I don't know, Brandon. What do you think of all this? This is a lot of information. This is a huge topic. This investigation is super wide and confusing, and there's a lot of misinformation. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of information. Like I said, if you're watching this video and you haven't really been following the story, you're not alone. So.
Yeah, I hope I made it somewhat clear for you guys. I'm gonna have to prepare my next video, like, a little more script, because, like, when he started asking questions, I just forgot, like, obviously I follow politics closely, because it's a passion of mine. But, like, I gotta, like, think of, like, some people do not, like, keep up politics like I do, because I'm kind of, like, a weirdo. So I gotta, like, make sure I make it clear, because, yeah, this investigation has been going on for a long time. Not only is it politically motivated by the Democrats, it's also potentially a very real thing. And Trump has obviously committed crimes while he was president. Many presidents have done that. Is that something he should be impeached over? I don't know. But unfortunately, a lot of the people he has ties with are related to Russia. And that's a whole nother conversation about, like, Russia. Like, oh, I didn't even get to the IRA. Oh, God. Let's see, do I got time? I'll just say this last thing. So, along with all these people being charged, there was 13 Russian nationals, 3 Russian companies, 8 intelligence officers. These people are all being indicted by the Mueller investigation, saying that they interfered with the elections. That's a lot. That is a lot. There's a lot of people, big companies. Most of the nationals were basically related to this company called the IRA, the Internet Research Agency. So
Is this
basically,
government owned or is this private?
is a private owned company in Russia, and this basically, the company, all it does, for the most part, is have bots go on social media and spread misinformation. And
That seems
it's
very
literally
shady.
yeah. So like,
that-
it's a very real thing, and basically described by many as a troll factory. That's quote. Troll
What's their
factory.
agenda?
Whoever
What do they
pays
get
them, the government, potentially.
The
I don't know.
government pays them to do? Or
That's a
is it
theory.
unknown?
That's a theory. Maybe Trump
So we
paid
don't.
them.
So we don't really know what their agenda is.
We don't know why they did it. We know they did do it. But
That's
that
kind of scary.
so like it could have been Russian
Honestly.
the paying them, or it could have been Trump, and or it could have been any one of his Trump's many people that worked with him that did all the shady things for him. Basically, Trump is surrounded by a lot of people that are being investigated and are being found guilty by the day. At the end of the day, does that make Trump guilty automatically? No, but it is something to think about. All right, that's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks for listening to this rambling. I'm gonna make it more structured. I'm gonna do videos like this probably every week. I'm gonna attempt to, because I love politics. I love talking about it, and I want to spread information, and also I want to like read your guys' comments and just kind of like learn more. It'll get better over time. I appreciate you guys listening. This is Sean from the Random Tangents, and Brandon.
This is Brandon. Thanks for listening. We got a lot of information for you guys, so
Yeah,
take it in, formulate your own opinions, and don't be sheep.
exactly. Don't be sheep. All right, well, appreciate it, guys. Signing off.